Wait. Okay, go, get in.
Basically, explain to me what you're going to be trying to do. What's the theory?
Okay, well, Colonel Jim Napier is going to take us up in the air about 1,500 feet. My hang glider will be attached to the hot air balloon about 20 feet underneath the balloon, and then we will release the balloon from a tight end point on the top in the basket, and then I will be released and probably nosedive about 100 feet and then resume flight from that point and come in and land right here on the soccer field.
Now, you've never tried this before, right?
Right.
Why do it?
And why not?
And so they were off on a 1,500-foot journey into a deep blue fall sky over Western Kentucky University. Minutes later, hang glider pilot Hugh Murphy was airborne.
We knew that he was in a complete stall because he was in still air. And we knew that that glider was going to take a nosedive like the pilot had never seen before. He went almost straight down, and he built up an awful lot of airspeed before he got it under control. And then after it was under control, it was a beautiful sight because we saw him circling around and around. And when he came in for a landing, oh, I felt good. I really did.
Heads up, get out of the way.
It was all short-lived, this rare flight through the sky. In about 3 minutes, Murphy was back on the ground, but he was wearing a big smile.
I'm very pleased with it. It's safer than going off a cliff, off a mountainside, because you don't have a cliff to bang back into. So it's a lot safer. There's nothing for me to hit up there. There's no turbulence. The release went very well.
Murphy and Napier planned their feat weeks in advance, and to say today's flight was a rare sight is quite an understatement.
Well, I believe it hasn't been done east of the Mississippi. I know for a fact it's been done out in California and New Mexico, maybe a half a dozen times. And I doubt if it's been done in the world any other place. But when it was done out west, it was to establish hang glider records. And what we're trying to do is introduce it as a normal sport activity.
Not the Daily News or something?
Yeah, that's the daily. All right, why don't we get, I don't want to pull that off until we know which way to go. We might as well go right over there. Set up for the hang glider. You got 4 or 5 boards.
What questions you got?
I'm just going to ask you what you're trying to do. Have you explained the process? Have you ever done it before?
We've never, well, I believe Jim here said that it's probably not been done east of the Mississippi that we know of.
Let me get you right over there. You want to?
So,
You want to go over it?
I'm thinking Jim has more, has ramrodded this thing more. Maybe you should get the two of us together on it.
I wasn't going to talk to him too, but the way we work, I need to talk to you individually.
Rolling.
Okay. Basically, explain to me what you're going to be trying to do. What's the theory?
Okay, well, Colonel Jim Napier is going to take us up in the air about 1,500 feet. My hang glider will be attached to the hot air balloon about 20 feet underneath the balloon, and then we will release the balloon from a tight end point on the top in the basket, and then I will be released and probably nosedive about 100 feet and then resume flight from that point and come in and land right here on the soccer field.
Now, you've never tried this before, right?
Right.
Why do it?
And why not?
Okay, good enough. So you'll glide around for how long?
probably about 2 or 3 minutes at 1,500 feet. There's no mountain to surf, so basically I'm just sled running down, just taking gravity down.
Now, how long have you been gliding?
For about 9 years.
Is this dangerous? Does it sound more dangerous than it really is? What are there things that could go wrong? I guess there would be.
Well, there's a lot of safety factors. As I said, I have a backup parachute, and the equipment is very safe if you check it out, and take the time and check it out before you do it.
So you're not too nervous about it?
I'm not nervous at all about my equipment or any of that.
Okay, great. That's all I need from you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Keep it up.
No, you have to go back.
You gotta be on drill.
That fire.
Isn't that a good? Think of anything better.
Well, if they ask me, I'd say, why do this? Because this man's paying me $500 to take him up. I'll brief him.
Probably for Tuesday, because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be
Here till at least 6 o'clock.
How far in, John? All the way?
You died, yours will be kind of small.
Battery.
Cliff?
Colonel maintained it lovely. 90%. And the lieutenant also it's 90% baby and 10%. It's 10%. 90%. What are you like?
Who's gonna be in it?
John could have. I figured out to give the other guys a chance. So.
Take a picture of John's mouth.
Well, word? No. Definitely. He's not.
It's all right.
They're laughing at you.
Fun, man. I can't believe it. It's all so good. Get it, man. Put you a little slack here, that helps.
He must have got one of them ready.
I was trying to jump back and I was like, my hand right there.
How funny was
Joe's going like, this is not supposed to be. That's too much, man. Heads up, get out of the way. That was, man. That was incredible. That was...
Hey, John.
Go, Kevin. Go. Was it neat?
Okay. It goes like 40, 50 miles an hour.
It looked like you were coming down way too fast.
Well, I was in a dive and then I kept it in the dive. And that wind was... I was doing, I guess, at least 40 coming out of the dive.
Right when you released, you're talking about?
Well, could you tell my nose was down?
Yeah. Right when you...
Every time my nose was stayed down, I was going like 40 or 50.
Where's that white car? My battery died.
But yeah, hey Jim, we've got pretty well all... Be sure and...
I knocked it over.
Okay, first of all, the planning that goes into it. When I got here, you were already doing some strategy work. What kinds of things do you have to consider?
In planning the flight, well, hot air balloon needs to go up in pretty still wind, so that's where we're waiting around for the winds to die down. And with planning, that's the main thing we need. We need nice still air to take the hot air balloon. The hang glider can fly in a 20-mile-an-hour wind if it faces the wind. But with the hot air balloon, and this is the first time we did it, so we needed still air, so we needed to wait for that.
Once you got up, were there any unexpecteds?
Yes, the unexpecteds were, this is the first time I've had this hang glider at 1,500 feet, and it flew a lot faster than I thought it was going to fly. I had planned out a flight where I would land in the soccer field here, and land long ways with it, and then I found out I was getting close to the wires coming down, and I was just flying a lot faster, and I had to change right on the last minute, fly out the other way and then fly into the wind. It made for a rough landing too, because I went right over a bank before I landed.
But all in all, you seem pretty pleased with it, and you're going to try it again?
Definitely. I was very pleased with it. Jim's not back yet. I've got a bud waiting for him. But I'm very pleased with it. It's safer than going off a cliff, off a mountainside, because you don't have a cliff to bang back into. So it's a lot safer. There's nothing for me to hit up there. There's no turbulence. The release went very well. So I'll just work on my landing a little bit. You can cut that off the video if you like.
Why haven't, if this is safer, why haven't more people done this, do you think?
It's probably just not that popular. I mean, not that many people know about it. I wouldn't have known about it if I hadn't gone into an outdoor shop one day and asked the guy what that was hanging across the roof. But I would say just because people don't know about it, they're not aware of it.
What does it feel like when you get up there and he cuts the wires loose? Do you feel like you're going to lose your stomach for a second?
Well, I've got a 170 square foot wingspan on that hang glider, so I almost parachute. There was 1, 2, maybe 3 seconds where it was a little bit unstable, but I recovered after 3 seconds, and then I was on home territory. I knew how to fly my kite.
Okay, that's all I need from you.
I'm going to get a light. All the kids come and sit in the mail.
Well, it doesn't work.
They almost hit Kevin, Joe.
And you, we can't see you.
Oh, sorry.
How about a handshake?
Get that beer out of the picture.
I cleared it first.
All right, let's get these cameras off. We'll drink a beer and...
Let me talk to you before it gets any darker here.
All right. Yeah, right here.
Rolling.
Okay. How did it all, did it go like you planned?
Yes. There was one small detail you probably noticed on takeoff. We were caught and we couldn't release the balloon. I thought the balloon would go out laterally so the release would work, but it didn't, and we had to come back down and cut that loose. After that, everything went exactly as we planned. I wish you could have seen him from the air circling around. It was a beautiful shot.
Something you plan on doing again?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The next time we get good weather, we'll do it.
Yeah. He said this was much, much safer than diving off the cliff because the wind can blow you back there. If it is, why haven't more people been doing this?
Well, because it's a new thing. Even ballooning is only about 15 years old. Hang gliding has progressed. The glider that he's got was developed within 5 years ago. It's all a new sport. Somebody hadn't thought of it.
To give me an idea of oh, good. Now, again, just how unusual is it?
Well, I believe it hasn't been done east of the Mississippi. I know for a fact it's been done out in California and New Mexico, maybe a half a dozen times. And I doubt if it's been done in the world any other place. But when it was done out west, it was to establish hang glider records. And what we're trying to do is introduce it as a normal sport activity.
Now, obviously, both of you are very professional people who know exactly what you're doing. It could be very dangerous, I guess, for somebody who doesn't.
Well, there were two principles that we worked under. And incidentally, we had no one to help us. We had to work it out ourselves. The first principle was that it would be dangerous if somehow or another he was released too early where he didn't have enough altitude to get control of the glider. We knew that. Also, the other principle that we worked under, we had to release him because you can't land with him under there. You're going to hit the glider and tear it up and maybe injure him. So we were prepared if our rope system was not working, we were prepared to cut him loose. And on those two principles, if we followed those exactly and made sure that we didn't violate those, then it had to be safe, which it was.
How did he look from the other side up there?
Well, we knew that he was in a complete stall because he was in still air. And we knew that that glider was going to take a nosedive like the pilot had never seen before. And I don't know if you saw it